Are you ready for some monkey business? Let's check out Mythical Wukong in Arena.
7K Dreamer, please.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We'll be starting off with Arena immediately, and we are focusing on Mythical Awakening Wukong. And look, I have a Nia in my team, and this is the team I've been using, and I've been pretty good with it. So this is the epic opening. 3 electrified enemies, thanks to Nia. I'm just using her because I think it's really fun because we can, slot in different kind of heroes, and Nia just recently got a remake today, so I'm gonna use her. So Wukong's bottom skill, which he just used, is the one that has the taunt effect, and now single target attacks on the basic attacks will all go to him, and he has a lot of bulk, seriously. And over here my Wukong is equipped with Willful Ring with the Hide accessory. It's only at level 4, so 5 turns. The Willful Ring is very good for him in this case, in my opinion, because as I said in my previous videos, Willful Ring acts like a 1.5 times HP. So since Wukong revives, he actually has 2.5 times HP in that case. Unfortunately, my Nia died to death over there, but I think she did her job. Do note that Nia also gives your entire team a 5000 HP shield, so that's the reason why I'm using Nia. And also she has formation change, she also has electrify, as you saw earlier. So yes, back to Wukong, 2.5 times of HP. So that's a lot of bulk and a lot of annoyingness that the enemy has to deal with. And currently right now, at least at this point in the arena, not many people have Wukong yet. Okay, so that's a good thing. But eventually many people will have Wukong, so there are some things which you need to look out for, and I'll talk about that later. So back to my Wukong's builds, okay. My Wukong has double crit, both max polished Mythical Awaken. So this increases his debuff cast rate by further 10% because both equipments together will give you 10% more. So his stun rate is pretty high. His stun rate actually at base is at 50% from the skill, and then with traits and then with the mythical weapons it's about 70%. So if the enemy does not have stun resist, pretty sure he's gonna get stunned. Okay. For his awaken skill over here, he will do turn decrease and also has a chance to do a chain attack if he kills someone. And the Orga at the back of the enemy is very bulky. And he just got his Willful Ring heal back, so I have a lot to deal with right now.
Darkness engulfed in light. Awaken.
And Dylan's with his counter is also very painful. Unfortunately, my Freya is dead. Wasn't able to cast her awaken skill. I think it would have been very devastating. But it's okay, we have Wukong and Chris. So we have 2 universal heroes left on the field, and these 2 are not to be taken lightly. So my Willful Ring from my Wukong just proc after the Chris actually did a single target on my Wukong. So that is why I said that the Willful Ring is very good, because right now the opponent still has to deal with 2 full bars of HP from my Wukong. Okay, and that is a lot to take down.
Take a good look. This is my ultimate power. Can't stop me. Those who defy me.
Wukong is very strong himself. My Wukong has about 80% crit, if I'm not wrong. I also gave him crit jewels, so that's why that's the 80%. And he hits very hard.
Take a good look. This is my ultimate power. Can't stop me.
So there's a lot of normal attacks going on now because all the skills are being used, and it's really about wasting the enemy's time basically in this case, because we are using tank heroes, and I think that's the main goal, right? Everyone was waiting for Wukong to awaken because everyone said, tank teams are not loved, tank teams are forgotten, tank teams are always nerfed. So here we go, here's the tank team that you always dreamed of. Arena matches are taking super long. So that's the end of the first match. So let me just talk a bit about my Wukong's traits. My Wukong has Death Resist, Stun Resist, because I don't want him to be affected by other Wukongs. Basically, my whole team does have Stun Resist already. This is to prevent the team from being inflicted by other Wukongs who have very high debuff cast rate. And unfortunately over here, Tara removes all the shields by my Nia, so my Nia's utility is basically gone. And her Electrify skill here didn't even land any Electrify, so I don't know what's going on. That was unfortunate, but it's okay. Thank goodness she still has her Guardian Ring, so her Awaken skill is proc, so you guys can have a full look of Nia in Arena right now.
You fell for my tactics. I'll finish you off.
She is very bulky actually, honestly. I've given my Nia full block, okay? So she takes a lot of hits. She only dies if she gets hit by death or effect attacks. Or single target, of course.
I will break the boundary of the abyss and become.
For his jewels, I give him crit rate, block rate, and increased skill use chance, okay? And I think this will help him in a little bit more bulk because of the block rate, and crit rate will definitely help him to do more damage, and he is very strong even as a frontline unit. So you can see my Nia actually outlived my Dylans over here.
Time to end this. A holy extermination.
Basically what I've been seeing from Wukong is that he eats a lot of damage. That he really takes in a lot of damage, and I think I'm the only one so far that uses him on the front line. Most of them, I mean single one on the front line, the offensive formation. Most people are still on the basic, which is totally fine. You can also follow that. And honestly, I don't really know what is the most appropriate formation and, you know, jewels. Everything is at the trial and error kind of testing phase.
Oh my god.
Heavenly light.
But what I can see is that I think he is kind of cancerous because of his revive. So in future, okay, let's talk about what will happen if more people are going to use Wukong. So if more people use Wukong, then you're going to have a lot of stun going on, so you definitely want to give your team stun resist, as what I've mentioned earlier and what my team has. Another thing is that his crit is going to be very painful and he's going to have a lot of bulk. Okay, I have faced a couple of Wukong teams already and I did manage to overcome them. I think it's a matter of how you actually gear your other heroes to counter Wukong, especially Chris. Chris with his single target and Chris with his effect attack on his counter is gonna be very helpful in helping you to deal with other Wukongs. So my Wukong revived and the Chris is already dying, so I think I already have this match. And that's the power of Wukong. If you can survive, if your Wukong can survive all the way till the late match and then still revive, you pretty much have the match, because it's just about timing. Well, unless the enemy's Chris, you know, strikes you with effect attacks every counter, then that's another story. Maybe you will need some more bulk. But over here you can see how my Wukong is taking all these basic attack hits from the enemy Chris. And I also have my Awaken skill ready again. So his exclusive item is very well designed. When he revives, he can actually use his Awaken skill again. And that is a -1 turn decrease again after he revives. So in the late match, this comes in very useful against enemy Chris. And don't forget, he still has a chain attack that is on his Awaken skill. So if he procs that chain attack, it is a 2 turn decrease. So that is where the beauty of Wukong's Awaken skill comes in, because he is kind of the only hero right now that can actually do 2 turn reduction at one time, if you are lucky, of course. So just to say, I think a lot of people are starting to use Callahan as well, and I will probably look into that in another video. Callahan recently got a remake, and I have encountered some Callahans, and I think we will be seeing him very soon. And Paralyze is gonna be a thing again, so that is something you may want to take note.
The abyss and become no more mercy from now on.
Another thing you may be thinking is, should you give the Hide accessory to the Willful Ring or the Guardian Ring? Because I think Willful Ring and Guardian Ring with the Hide substat is gonna be the next up and coming meta, or it's already the current trend, okay? So I have tested both on my Wukong, and I decided to not show you guys the Guardian Ring one. Why? Because there's really no difference. Okay, ultimately the point of Wukong is his bulk, is his revival. So whether you give him the Willful or Guardian Ring, I think it is only, I think those are very early game stuff. Okay, Wukong really shines in the later part of the match. And okay, personally, I do feel that the Willful Ring is better. As you saw in the two matches earlier, as long as you gear him up well with enough bulk, and he is able to tank hits all the way before the Willful Ring procs, then I think you're essentially giving him additional 50% HP, which is very good for him. And of course, I have Nia shields here, which serve as, you know, even more HP for him. And that's the point why I'm using Nia in the first place. So if you're using the Guardian Ring, then it's a 3-turn kind of shield, whereby he doesn't take anything. It is also very good, of course, because 3 turns at the front. If your enemy uses all their strong attacks in the front, then you basically have RNG in your favor. So Wukong is going to take much less damage later on. And yeah, you will realize that ultimately, no matter what you give him, it is what happens later on that really matters.
Darkness engulfed in light. Awaken. Darkness engulfed in light. Awaken. Take a good look.
But what I feel more important is the Hide accessory, because the Hide accessory right now really prevents your heroes from being targeted from single attacks, and this will help him to be protected from Chris's counter, which is very painful. So you need a very long duration of Hide, the more the merrier.
This is my ultimate power.
Over here, my Wukong died to the bleed and the counter, so not very good. I think bleed can be a potential counter to Wukong as well. Wukong with bleed is very susceptible to getting a lot of HP reduced. So heroes like Orca could possibly come back. I'm not too sure, because right now nobody is using Orca, and we're not even sure if Orca can live up to this. So in future, maybe more Wukongs will also have bleed resist to prevent all these extra damage from happening. And again, the same thing here. We have Wukong Chris on one side and enemy Chris on the other side. So yeah, I did have another 5 wins later on after this match, so I can guarantee that Wukong is a very strong hero they have created for us. So yes, let me know your thoughts about Wukong and whether you have tested him in arena and how do you feel. I will be coming up with a very big hero summary encyclopedia video next, so do stay tuned for that, and thank you so much and see you!